Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're back with a little more Civilization 7, which I haven't had a lot of time to play. I haven't even finished a Deity game yet, actually, and that is what we're going to be doing today. I still don't really know much about the game, really. I probably know enough to beat Deity at this point, and that's what we'll be trying to do, but like I'm by no means an expert. So I'm basically just picking something that sounds interesting, and I was kind of looking over some of the leaders and cultures, and one thing that actually seemed like a potentially interesting combination to me is Xerxes, King of Kings here. A couple interesting things about Xerxes, this particular variant. So this +3 combat strength for units that are attacking in neutral or enemy territory seems very powerful. Extra gold in all settlements seems quite nice, but that extra settlement limit per age seems really appealing as well. And we're going to take a couple mementos here. So we're going to take a scientific attribute point as well as a military attribute point. And you'll see why I'm grabbing those two in just a second here. Because what I'm thinking is actually playing with the Han. So the military attribute point plays really well into Xerxes here. But the Han are like a diplomatic scientific that have this Chu-Ko-Nu. So the Chu-Ko-Nu has zone of control and higher defensive strength and +5 combat strength when attacking adjacent units. I also know in the social policy tree, the unique one for the Han, the Chu-Ko-Nu gets some extra defensive bonuses as well when you research into that tree. So what I'm thinking is I can kind of combine Xerxes with a Han, who are normally a very defensive culture by the way they're kind of laid out, and actually turn them into a very well-balanced military culture while still trying to advance my science through the use of the Shidafu as well as some of the various abilities that the Han have. So that's kind of the plan. We'll see if it works out or not. I have no idea if this is actually a good combination, but we're going to find out. We'll bump the difficulty up to Deity here, and I'm just going to leave the standard settings just because I still don't know enough about the game to like monkey around and know how that's going to affect my games. So we're just going to launch right in with this. So here we are at the start of Antiquity. We don't have a great start as far as like tile adjacency is concerned for buildings later in the game. We do have a potential triple resource adjacency right here, which could be handy. But we have no mountains and no coast, so we're limited to only adjacency for production as well as science buildings. This is recommending we settle in place, but part of the problem here is I'm going to have to build all the way over to it, so I'd have to build buildings all the way like that, because you can't go through the luxuries. So I'm thinking we might actually want to move one tile over, and that'll reduce the number of quarters that we need to build in order to get out to that location, while still maintaining us in range of the horses. And then on our first growth event, because the Han get 2 growth right away, we can actually grab both the cotton and the cowlin on our first growth. You get a bonus growth, basically. Now, as far as first tech, I'm actually thinking animal husbandry. We don't have much in the way of mines here. We don't have any rough terrain. So I think we'll want to go for the saw pit, because we'll be building some of those woodcutters on the woods here in order to maintain production. Let's start with the second scout. That seems like a pretty standard option here, and we'll do a little scout around. This actually got us close to some mountain here, which is nice, so at least we'll have a little bit of adjacency, and we can go ahead and grab the cotton and grab the cowlin to start. So the cotton will give us 2 food into production, and the cowlin will give us 2 food. That extra 2 food that you get is only for non-capital cities, so not quite as valuable at the start of the game, but still, I'll take 2 food. Let's see. Oh, I think I just want the influence, actually. I also forgot to assign my points here. Make sure we get that. Only lost a couple turns of +1 science. It's not really that big of a deal. And of course, the militarist attribute doesn't come into play for a while. I think thinking we go for warriors, just so we have a tool to deal with any hostiles here. And in the meantime, we could go for the wine. I don't think that... I don't really need the happiness, and plus 10% culture isn't really going to do much at the moment. So maybe we start growing out towards the horses, or maybe we try to get some of these things under our control. We could also like grab this flat desert right here with the woodcutter and maybe open up that tile, or maybe this tile right here. But what I'm thinking is we can build like our saw pit and granary here, and that'll allow us to start building around this way to that triple resource adjacency, as well as to right here with this mountain tile. I'm going to do that, even though it's kind of crappy right now. But once that saw pit becomes available, we're going to put the saw pit there. Okay. No option there. We'll just take the gold, which might have been what I would have preferred anyway. So I would really like to at least try to find some coastal tiles here. We'll want a city that can produce some gold for us, and we actually have the navigable rivers, which would also serve that purpose, so could potentially go for a settler out in that area. Do a little scout around up here and see if there's anything. There's a campfire up here that we can get to. I actually maybe should have gone for a third scout this game. There's a lot of directions to explore in, but we can send this warrior down to pick up this tent camp. Also found Trung here, and I'll just do a neutral greeting. I want to conserve my influence a little bit. And this is Moria. Okay, so Moria could be a little challenging. They have some pretty powerful units. I'm going to build over the woodcutter there, because that woodcutter is useless, but this lets me kind of hopscotch a little bit. I could actually get to that gypsum, and I think I'm going to start working out in that direction. The luxuries feel quite valuable at the start of the game. 30 science and 10 production feels good, and that'll let us get that granary, and then we'll work on the saw pit right after that. As far as tech, we're going to go for pottery and then go into writing. What we kind of want to do, I think, is try to get a high tier of our special unit as early as possible. That is kind of the plan. And there's also a hostile independent in our way, so we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, science or food? I'm actually going to take the science because I want to progress down the tech tree as quickly as possible. Okay, there's pottery. We could get the brickyard as well. Maybe that's something we build there just so we get access to that tile. We're going to queue up a settler right after this granary. And we're going to grow the city. Let's keep growing out to that gypsum. And then tech, we're going to go straight into writing. I think I would like to, to the extent possible, try to prioritize getting some of the science kind of legacy path traits. We'll go with the culture. I feel like culture is pretty difficult to get. You're going to be a little unorthodox and go for discipline. I actually don't think the altar is all that important for this strategy. Let me come back to that thought. I'm going to grab oligarchy because the production towards training infantry units I don't think applies to ranged units, whereas the food and production towards constructing buildings will both always be useful. But I think that this strategy involves trying to rush to my highest tier of unique units kind of as soon as possible, and trying to upgrade our commander very quickly. So I grabbed the gold there, which is really nice because now I can purchase this settler. If I had built that other settler first, it would actually be more expensive to purchase this one. I just have to figure out where I need to go. I'm going to take a bet that over in that direction is both relatively safe and has access to, say, some resources and coastal terrain. Let's see, that's coastal, so I won't be able to go there yet. But we can get up here and keep exploring around. I'm going to get away from that warrior. Actually, quite a few resources over there as well. That might be worth getting. Okay. Got another turn on that settler. What I really need to do as well is try to explore in this area down here. Seems like there might be some potential in that terrain. Okay, so there's a wool over here, which feels pretty good. Maybe we'll find a few other things. I know we're trailing in tech, but that's just how this starts. We'll get the extra production, because that'll get us a little ways towards getting the settler. And we'll probably start building some Chu-Ko-Nu soon. Okay, we've met Machiavelli. I'm going to do a friendly greeting here. So my thought is that Trung might be a little closer, considering we've found her earlier. 100 gold for one turn of science. That seems potentially worth it to me. So Trung might be the target of our aggression. Whereas here, we'll want someone that we can do like military aid with to help improve our chances against any opponents that we might find this game.
This land has
Okay, we found a wonder. Does that change what I want to do with this? What's it do? Let's do production on adjacent quarters. Interesting. Is that worth coming down here for? I think it probably is, right? Because, like, if I could get, say, a monument or something right there, I could get production and adjacency. Yeah, let's head in that direction. And then up here, I think I'm going to purchase a Chu-Ko-Nu just to deal with this guy here that's coming for me. And this settler. I don't want to come up here. There's a lot of resources up in this area. Okay, that scout's probably going to die. But I guess it served its purpose. I was a little too aggressive there when I knew there were enemy units around. Uh-oh. They might beat me here. Okay, let's pull back here. If I, like, camp out on that spot, hopefully they won't be able to settle it. Okay, I'm going to do a friendly greeting with Tecumseh here. Let's see. Who do I want to ally? Maybe here. I think I'll start befriending them. Because this is a candidate to disperse, I think, because it's kind of in my way. And let's get our growth. We'll get that gypsum now. And that'll give us an extra +2 production there. I feel like right here might actually be the best spot. Gets access to a decent few coastal tiles. Grabs... Actually, that's out of range of the silver. So yeah, maybe that is the best spot. Because I can grab the silver as well. Alright. These scouts need to come down in this direction. I was focusing a lot on areas that were not as competitive. Which may be a bit of a mistake. Okay, can attack the warrior here with our Chu-Ko-Nu. Unfortunately, not getting any commander experience here, but is what it is. And we did beat them to this area. So I think what we're going to do is row out this way, because I think they're likely to try to, like, settle down in this area down here. And I don't want them taking up any room from that city that it could potentially grow to. Also going to take the long way around with that settler, just so I avoid running into any bad guys. And, ooh, we can get a free Chu-Ko-Nu, which we definitely want. We're still 4 turns away from getting our commander. Next, I think the brickyard will plop it right there, I think, because that'll let us build right here. So we have a +3 adjacency here and a +2 right there. So we have plenty of spots for our production and science buildings once we're able to build them. We'll finally try to grab this cairn right here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I find this happens a lot, where units that you don't have line of sight of kind of know where you are and come after you. Especially the city-states, or whatever they're called, the independent people, etc. To get food or production, I think I'm actually going to grab the food, because I would like to continue to grow that city. I'm gonna have to, like, give them a run around here. I mean, it is, like, nice that the settlers can actually take a couple hits rather than just getting immediately captured. I much prefer it over the old way that settlers were handled. Alright. I think we're going to go for our special civic first. I know I'm skipping the Pantheon, but I think this science buildings getting +1 science adjacency for quarters will be really nice. The Great Wall will be a good improvement, and specifically I'm interested in Deity right here. The Chu-Ko-Nu gains +5 combat strength when defending. I just want to pump up my Chu-Ko-Nus as much as possible. Okay, we have our commander. Let's push our Chu-Ko-Nus out. And we're going to continue to explore that way. Let's also see what lives over in that direction. I'm going to have the scout kind of come heal for a bit. He'll probably die if he keeps exploring around hostile units. I'm actually not going to make an attack until my commander's there, because I want to try to farm as much XP as I can. And let's grab that gypsum. And we can slot it into Chang'an just for a little bit more industry. Then we can get a really good library. I could hold off on building here until I got the academy, but that's very late in the era, so I'd rather have the extra science now. And then I think I will go ahead and work on masonry. The garden is nice, but I don't have anywhere to build it in Chang'an that gives me extra industry. Or extra food, rather, because there's no navigable rivers or anything adjacent. So that town will be a little bit vulnerable. But I think I can give it a turn and then just buy a Chu-Ko-Nu in there. I'm going to go for the 15% towards constructing buildings in the capital. I think it's going to be quite a while before I am able to actually... What's the word I'm looking for? To get another town or another city. I think I'll probably get more value this way. Okay. So here we go. Actually going to move the Chu-Ko-Nu out here. Because I want the commander here to get experience from both of these attacks. I'm actually going to target that slinger first. I don't want to spend the gold here unless I have to. Okay. So this is interesting. That could actually be a really good target to attack. Because I know Tecumseh gets some bonus combat strength from being suzerain, but Axum doesn't have a special unit that would help them defend against me, which is a pretty appealing prospect. I do think I'm going to buy a Chu-Ko-Nu here. And it won't go to waste because I'll use it later. So my plan is to go down Assault Tree first. The units can move after unpacking, and the +2 combat strength for ranged units when attacking are both very good. Enfilade and Advancement will not be particularly useful to me, but it will be the quickest way to get to Order, which is the +5 combat strength for land units. So I'm going to do that, and then after that, I'll probably end up going down the Bastion tree. I think I underestimated Bastion when I first started playing, but now that I've sampled a couple runs on Deity, the value of Bastion's a little bit more obvious to me. Alright, we have another city growth. Probably want to go for some more production here. Can I get 2 food and 2 production there? Don't know if the wine is worth it yet. I think maybe we grab... Yeah, I think let's grab this woodcutter here. That'll get us access to the horses later as well. And we're just scouting over this way. It's a pretty long navigable river there. Okay. Do we want to go for another settler? I think we do. I think we have a lot of decent terrain to settle, actually. So that makes sense to me, and I'll unlock a little bit more city cap as I go through the tech tree and the civic tree. Okay, so I can focus fire here, and that Chu-Ko-Nu is just going to spend a little time healing up. And we're going to reinforce this Chu-Ko-Nu here. Let's maybe grab the camels, because that'll let us get more stuff in our capital slot. Oh, I'm actually not connected to my capital at the moment, too far away. I'll have to build a road there later. I'll accept that, and I think we'll take the plus 20% food just so we can keep growing, and I'll grab Charismatic Leader. Very curious where that settler is going. Okay, so potentially decent settle option up here that's coastal. That would give us a city or at least a town on both coasts at the very least, which is ideal for the next era in the exploration. So that could set us up pretty nicely. Ooh, another wonder there. Wow. Really stacked with wonders in the center of the map here. Okay. Just going to fortify my commander. I know he's technically vulnerable right now, but I think he's still fine. Okay. What can you tell me? We'll do a little explore. Where is this hostile city state? Like, are these guys from up here? Just run away from them. And our town growth. Let's... Actually, we should secure the wonder here, the natural wonder. I'm gonna grab that one, because that'll let us get out to the gold as well. This will probably need to be evolved into a city in order to get the maximum value out of that. And then let's start building a few Chu-Ko-Nus. We want a nice reserve of them, and we'll send a settler up this way, because we know we're going to want a town in that direction. Okay, we're going to move our commander, just so we can get XP from both of these attacks. And we can now promote a little extra combat strength on our ranged units. Sounds quite nice. I feel like I have a lot more to explore this game than I have in the previous games that I played. Yeah, let's keep running away here. And I'm wondering where the best spot is. So like right here, I could 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like all of those tiles would be in range. So that feels okay to me. And let's grab irrigation, because we want to try to get up to bronze working. Okay, so we have vulnerable unit here. Let's focus fire there.
You ask for what?
Oh man, another wonder. Wow, a lot of natural wonders it feels like. I'm not used to finding this many. Like, I feel like I always find one. I'm kind of getting blocked here. I think the scout's just going to die. It's done its job, at least. And I'm actually going to push forward with that Chu-Ko-Nu just to get it in firing range here, and we can try to eliminate that as soon as possible. Pull our warrior back. I would like some more vision kind of on this side here. And here... I mean, we could grab the incense. Kind of inclined to get out to the silver. I think I'm going to do that. Let's go for the silver. And head down that way. These guys feel pretty safe at the moment. I think I'm starting to ally them. Yeah, they're pretty close there. I would like to try to find more city-states so I can befriend them, but I'm kind of hemmed in at the moment. This guy's just kind of in the way, and you can get some really nice benefits early on from dispersing some of these independents. So we're going to go for it. Let's do that. Some extra production, really nice. And we got a promotion on our army commander, so we can get enfilades there. Extra combat strength for siege units won't be particularly important. Once you get an advancement and we can get that +5 combat strength for land units in the radius, that will be quite good for us. Okay, we have a really annoying settle right here. AI love doing this in Civ 7, it seems like. It's just like making these really weird settles. I don't know why they went there. Because, like, I wish they would kind of remove the penalty from raising. It feels excessive to me that it stacks so high, especially when you have to deal with settles like this that are just obnoxious and kind of in the way. Okay, I'm going to keep going for Chu-Ko-Nu here. We just want a massive army of these things. And then maybe work on a couple Shidafu, which are our, like, great person, basically. And they can get us some nice little benefits. I actually don't remember exactly everything they do, but unique building, or unique unit, build it, you know. Just what you do, I guess. We'll find out kind of more about what they do. I really haven't played the Han that much, so I'm not super knowledgeable about like their play style. Don't know why it's recommending there. It feels like an odd choice to me. Go ahead and settle here. And what do we want to go for first? I guess we can't quite get to the wool. Let's grab the dates there. I think that's still unconnected. Okay. We'll have to get a road going to that location. Let's make sure we've explored down this way a little bit. Well, we're going to need vision since we're planning to target Tecumseh here. And I'm just going to load this guy into the commander quick. We'll come that way. We'll load that guy up as well. And narrative choice, gold or culture. I'm going to go for the gold because I would like to convert another one of these locations into a city. I'm thinking maybe I could start purchasing some things in this town here. This will be a good frontline city for me. And I could make use of this wonder quite readily. So let's grab the granary, I think, right there. And diplomatic action, I will accept that. Wonder if... No, I can't get anything with them. How about you, Trung? Yeah, I'm mostly interested in getting the cultural endeavor, but I think we're just going to have to go with open markets here. I'm also actually going to denounce Tecumseh, because I know that is my target. And I think we go... Let's go for mysticism first, actually. Make sure we secure that Pantheon, and then we can buff up our Chu-Ko-Nu a little bit. Also have a hostel there. A lot more... What's the word I'm looking for? Mountain in this terrain than I'm used to. What's this guy do? 3 science on my palace sounds great. We could start getting Great Wall. Yeah, I mean, the likelihood that I build orders out that way is pretty low. And I wouldn't mind a little extra culture output, because I'm pretty bad on it right now. Let's do that and queue another Shidafu. Assuming that's how it's actually pronounced. I have no idea how to speak Chinese, obviously. Our narrative choice, 2 science on Academy or 100 influence. It's going to be a long time before I get Academy, so I'm going to grab the 100 influence. Codex or influence. I do want the science legacy path, so I'll grab that codex, I think. I just want to explore over this way and see what's there. Like, I have very limited vision, it feels like. Okay, now my scout's a little trapped over here.
The essence of all.
Okay, there's irrigation, and that'll open up bronze working, which we're going to rush for. Narrative choice, science attribute point, sounds great. Science towards tech masteries or production towards buildings. I'm going to take the production towards buildings, because I am trying to pump up my capital quite a bit, and I'll be producing a lot of buildings in there. Tech masteries can come later. I'm kind of skipping over them for now, because I'm trying to get up to a really high value unit upgrade. Okay. Seems like Tecumseh's maybe attacking the independent down there. I could grab that gold. This wonder is high value. Let's grab the gold first, because I do think I'm going to purchase another building in here. Like, I could grab this brickyard, right? And that'll reduce the cost to convert to city as well. So I think I'm going to do that. We'll turn that into a quarter. And up here, probably head towards that wall now. We'll start to get a little bit of insight as to what is actually down in this direction. And bring a few more Chu-Ko-Nus up. The scout will try to sneak out of there before they grow. Actually, we're blocked there, so we're going to have to wait until we have sailing in order to leave. And let's grab the science, because that'll get us really close to bronze working for our unit upgrade. Okay. Slingers are messing with me. I think I can take them with my reinforcements coming up. And Trung doesn't like me too much, which is okay. Alright, and town growth. Incense would be okay. Actually, the gold is probably a little better. Let's head towards the gold, because this town is currently not connected. I actually maybe should have gone for one of these tiles, because this stupid city is in my way right now. And I should maybe go for more competitive claims. I don't know. Okay. Plenty of Chu-Ko-Nu's coming down. I'm going to try to stockpile gold to the extent that I can. Because I need some gold to upgrade my units here once I finish bronze working. And then production. Let's go for another Great Wall segment. And the Shidafu. Great, we can trigger a celebration. Let's get that extra 20% food so we can keep growing. And I guess we'll take survey, because there's no other option for the time being. Garden. I mean, I could just slot it in somewhere just to get stuff. It doesn't really feel worth it to me. It's not a lot. So I think I actually am just going to get a couple more of the Chu-Ko-Nus. The wonder that I would like is the Gate of All Nations. Almost feels like a requirement in Civ 7 if you want to do literally any aggressive play whatsoever. Okay, they do have a lot of slingers running around, but once I get my upgrades, I feel like I can take them. I'm going to grab the gold in all settlements. That'll get me a decent bit of gold here. Okay, we found them. I feel like they're about to get dispersed, so I don't think we're going to spend influence on befriending them. However, Machiavelli likes us. Let's grab open markets, and let's go for military aid as well. Unfortunately, we've only found one city-state to actually befriend here, which is really a bummer, because the city-states provide some really nice bonuses. Okay. That scout's basically just hanging out until it can actually escape. Let's pull this guy back, because we are going to need him in our territory in order to upgrade. Let's do the production towards ranged units, so we'll make the most use of that. And open markets with Machiavelli we will support. Let's go for the +1 combat strength to ranged and siege units for every city-state you're suzerain of. And we get a Diplo attribute point. So we'll grab the extra influence. I value that influence quite a bit. It's very difficult to get influence, really. Harder to get than most of the other outputs, so that feels better to me than the happiness. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do, since they've abandoned this, I'm going to befriend them and just like camp out on top of this tile so they can't do anything to it that way. And hopefully that works. And up here, you can get some pretty decent tiles. 3 food, 1 production, 1 happiness, 2 food, 2 production, 2 food, 2 production. I feel like I want to keep growing. Can also queue a barracks up and get nice 5 production there. Sounds really good. So let's grow our city. Let's maybe grab this tile here just because I want to keep this city growing as much as possible. And here we can go ahead and grab the wool. This is still unfortunately not connected to our network. We're going to need our trader soon. Let's pick up sailing because that'll get us to currency, which gets us specialists. And specialists are quite important for the Han. They have some various benefits there. And let's start upgrading some of these Chu-Ko-Nus. Fairly expensive upgrades. But 100% worth it, I hope. And that scout's going to have to wait a few turns.
There is another world.
Right, there's mysticism. So we finally have our Pantheon very late. I'm thinking that we go for Mastery first, just so we can get Gate of All Nations. And Gate of All Nations can provide us some nice adjacency bonuses for some of our quarters as well. And then maybe we get to work on the altar. I think we just put it like in some, like maybe right here, where it doesn't actually eat up adjacency for anything. And then thinking maybe the +1 gold on camps and woodcutters, because I will make a few woodcutters. I don't know. Maybe +1 science on quarters. I have 2 quarters coming up, and I will have more than that eventually. Auction on clay pits, mines, and quarries. I mean, I do have a clay pit here, a quarry here. Oh, I didn't realize Callan's a quarry. That'll be a clay pit. Stone circles might actually be okay, and I can maybe make use of it over here as well. Let's go for stone circles. Okay. Not much I can do about that at the moment. Let's see if we can take care of that archer up there. Down here, we're going to upgrade those crossbows. Here, we're going to unload these units. Okay, they do have archers now. And my denounce has expired, so we're going to do that. I can also hinder their military production, which seems acceptable to me. Just so that they can't produce quite as many units. I found that the AI can, like, just produce obscene quantities of units, and it makes it very challenging to actually attack them. I'm hoping that that won't be the case this time around. and that I can actually create a reasonable push into Axum here. It seems like a decent city to actually push into. There aren't really any natural barriers or anything. I guess there's some, like, foliage that will interrupt me, but my Chu-Ko-Nus get bonus combat strength from being adjacent to opponents anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. I know there's an independent down here. Maybe I want to sneak down there and meet them just so I can try to befriend them. But another Chu-Ko-Nu I can upgrade. Make sure our army commander is in an appropriate position. That's going to take a while to befriend there. Maybe I start... Well, first I can reinforce my commander. Maybe I should try to pull these guys out. Actually, there's nowhere they can go at the moment. They're also not attacking me, which feels a little weird. Okay, attack. I think we go into currency at this point, just to unlock some gold-producing buildings. And here we can upgrade another set of Chu-Ko-Nus. See what's down here. Looks like it might have been dispersed already. Okay. And our army commander can idle. We are at a point that we could declare war. I think we want to wait maybe another turn or two for some of these units to get up here and be in appropriate positions. And scouts, we'll have them kind of swing down around this way. Wish I had another army commander, but they're also so expensive to produce. I'm thinking that maybe we should get another Chu-Ko-Nu in here and keep a consistent reinforced queue going with these units. Alright. Let's finally grab the natural wonder here. 4 food and 2 happiness is like a good amount of yields. And I think I'm in a position to declare war. I am going to save my game here, just because I'm still relatively new, right? And I'm okay with making some mistakes. I want to learn from them. But I also know that, like, mistakes can be pretty punishing when you're playing on Deity. So I do want to have a reload point until I get more used to playing at this particular level of difficulty. Okay, I'm going to keep them there. I want them to come to me and, like, spend all their units trying to attack me, rather than me trying to push into an unfavorable position. And take their slinger out, and I'm going to make that attack on that archer there. Axum will befriend soon. I can actually start pulling units out of there. I'm going to move my general down here, because I think those units seem a little more likely to be dealing with their front line compared to the ones close to Axum at the moment. Okay, Trung's declared war on me, which I suppose I could have predicted. Maybe it gives me an opportunity to go after the city up here. Guess I'm building, yeah, a couple things there. Where are these independents coming from? How much is it for a... don't use that much. Okay, I could get it next turn, so maybe I'll buy one of those. You know, for Yi, the +5 combat strength when defending on Chu-Ko-Nu will be pretty nice. And let's start moving units out of there, because I don't really need to camp on here anymore. I think I'm actually going to add support, just so I befriend them a little bit faster. And down here, I think I'm going to focus fire those archers. And here I can work on the slingers. I'm going to put this guy in a position where he can attack the center of that city. So I'm going to extract those warriors there, and my scouts will kind of continue along the coast that way. The Trung hasn't actually sent anyone in my direction, which is nice. But I am a little worried that she will. I don't want to, like, spend the gold right now, though, is my main problem. Okay. pull those Chu-Ko-Nu out, put those ones in, and then we'll put those ones back here, and they can head back to my territory to heal up. These guys can extract, and then we are going to focus fire that guy right there. Just get a nice quick kill. And here we're going to make an attack on the city district, and we'll pull some more units up. We want to get a cascade of fire going on Axum before they start building a huge quantity of like walls. We want to be able to march in there as quickly as possible. Okay. They do have quite a few slinger units here. Thankfully, slingers are not particularly good. So on this side, we're basically just holding the line. So I think I'm going to pull my commander up. Going to unload this healthy guy right here. And then I'm going to focus fire on Axum, because we want to just deplete Axum as quickly as possible. And that basically removes their ability to actually fight back. We also got a promotion, which is great, because this is going to unlock this +5 combat strength for land units promotion. So all those units are going to get some extra combat strength. I get the feeling I might lose one of these guys on this turn, but I think that's okay. I'm willing to make that sacrifice in order to capture the city as soon as possible. We can work on the Gate of All Nations. And what's the best case for this? It's a little odd because I would prefer to maybe have it in a location where I can benefit this adjacency. But I think what actually might be best is perhaps like right here, because that way I can at least get some quarters around it and benefit the adjacency to the Cowlin and Cotton right here. I could also maybe go for like this tile. There's a lot of adjacency possibilities there. But that does cover up a clay pit for me, which will be quite good. Let's go right here, because we'll eventually build an academy and armorer there, I think it is. Is it armor or is it blacksmith in this era? I don't really remember. Okay, this warrior is just exploring for me at this point. What's down here? A lot of water. Okay, I'm going to send that guy up that way. Let's see how Axum turns out for me here. Okay, they're finally starting to get some real military presence. Let's make sure that we have unloaded this unit. And this guy can help us take out these spearmen here. And here, we just need to... why am I attacking a settler instead of the units that are actually in that district? Okay. Well, we've killed one unit there, at least. So you can, like... That's interesting, actually. If you stack up civilian units there, like settlers or whatever, does that apply to things like scouts as well? That they can, like, tank some shots for your units? So you are going to lose a unit, but I've already decided that I'm fine with that. Oh, come on. Now they've made an army commander. Can I get this unit in here? No, it's going to take 2 turns. Okay, this is suddenly becoming a little more precarious. Wish I had more units reinforcing down there, actually. Make sure we're dealing with that warrior, which is coming from God knows where. And let's grab that gold for cheaper buyout. Down here. I think it's worth it to sacrifice at one more unit to try to secure Axum as quickly as possible. You get a specialization here. But I don't think I'm actually connected, so I wouldn't, like, send any resources anywhere. Yep, lost another Chu-Ko-Nu there. But I think I'm still in an okay position. What? Sometimes the game kind of, like, stops you from selecting your units. Okay. Why can I not? Does he not actually exist on that tile? So I can move there? Okay, that was a little weird. Yeah, it's showing that on the wrong tile, which is strange. I wonder if he will peace out with me. No, 4 more turns. Okay, so I need to actually hold on to Axum here. Okay, I can make an attack against that archer there. This guy is vulnerable, but I think he'll be okay. Definitely going to keep Axum. And we'll take the production towards wonders. Okay, we are connected, actually, so we can slot in a whole bunch of stuff to our capital now. Let's make sure we are getting that incense in there, just to pump up our science production a little bit. And maybe we actually just put some of these resources in other locations so we can slot as many resources as possible. We also have enough gold to convert this to a city, so I think I'm going to do that. That way we can start getting some really nice buildings here. Let's see. 5 library there. I think we get our monument right here, right? Because this provides +2 production on adjacent quarters. So if we can get 2 buildings there, that'll be good. Really, I think we want to put the barracks and the library right there. So what else can go there? I guess maybe we could put the altar. It's not ideal, but I just want to complete that as a quarter. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's fine. Resource assignments, and I've already done that. And our scout hasn't actually found anything of real value, but I'm kind of surprised I could get all the way down there. Alright, let's see what happens down here. Okay. As expected, they killed that unit, but I just really need to keep pushing here, I think. I've secured the capital, right? So I'm fine with, like, trading production here in order to get the things that I need. I might leave it open and kind of let them walk in. I'll fortify here. I think I'll pull the Chu-Ko-Nu up that way. It seems like there's another city-state up there. Okay, now they're pushing hard. I'm going to pull this guy down. Can he not shoot from there? Okay, there's vegetation blocking us. I think what I need to do is push forward. Pull them back. And can this guy actually hit the archer? He can. I need to take those archers out. Maybe we focus fire on the slingers there. Couldn't quite get them, but I think I maybe damaged them enough that they'll pull out. And we're going to hit the archers as well, and hope that that Chu-Ko-Nu can survive. I just need to get to the point where I can peace out. It's 2 more turns, so as long as I have kept that capital secure, I feel okay. And do I still have... I don't still have military aid. I should have gotten that before I made my turns here. We can also grab Bastion, so the extra combat strength for units while defending will actually be useful here. Okay. And they have an archer there. I can't duel them because they'll get the first shot. I wasn't really expecting them to actually have a garrison. So I'll have to pull them out. Okay. 1 more defeated Chu-Ko-Nu. However, I think I'm okay here. We can take the slinger out. We can move here. And we can try to do as much damage to that unit as possible. And up here, we're almost done with the Gate of All Nations. We'll get a couple more Chu-Ko-Nus in there. And I actually should have done this before I made some attacks, but that's okay. Supports that, just for a little extra gold, since I don't have any city-states to really do anything with at the moment. Let's see if we lose any more units here. Okay, still okay. Ideally, I wouldn't be losing this many units, but on the other hand, they were very inexpensive to produce, really, at the start of the game. We're going to go for engineering and try to get that production and culture going. Actually, let me double check something. Yeah, I don't have mastery for writing, actually. I'm going to grab that so I get the extra science on science buildings, and it'll make researching everything else a little bit more productive. Don't love what's going on there. Okay, now I have a different set of archers that are coming to get me. I think I might have to try to attack them there, because I can't get away from their attack. Also, the feels like the damage preview is bugged, or like doesn't provide the correct information at times. Because I did way less damage there than it said it was going to. I'm gonna buy a Chu-Ko-Nu just to defend this against this hostile people here. This warrior is not really doing much of anything. Okay, they're offering me Mediolanum. This is kind of an issue I have with the diplomacy screen, is I can't actually see where it is without clicking out of it. And then sometimes when you go to propose peace, they won't offer those things again. Do I care about that city at all? I want to be mindful of my city cap. And not really much I can do here, so we're just going to have to attack that archer. Maybe we can get peace there. We cannot. I would prefer to take that city or this town here. I don't know if I like really have it in me to do that, or if I, just need to reset a little bit. Just like, does that feel worth it to take that? It just feels so far away from everything else that I have. What's my alternative? Like, would I settle another city? Probably take another city from someone, right? Maybe from Chung. Ideally, I would try to push into her capital here. I think I'm not going to take an additional city. I'm, like, very cognizant of the happiness crisis that can happen at the end of this. Yeah, I'll ally with Machiavelli. Like, the happiness crisis feels very challenging to deal with. Like, way more so than the other one. So being over the city cap feels very dangerous in the ancient era in a way that it doesn't in other eras. I can actually get a bath right there. I'm going to do that. A little bit of extra food, and that'll let me relocate my farm that was there. Maybe we could start working on some of the Shidafu to pump up some of our outputs a little bit. Assuming it, like anything, pumps up outputs. I feel like there are a few things that do. So let's just move this scout. I'll almost definitely get attacks, but... Okay, narrative choice here. A little bit of extra culture. Sounds great. And let's move down that way. Okay, actually, my Chu-Ko-Nu are still alive somehow. Okay, horses, wine, get some production. We could get a specialist. That's a pretty good specialist here. Let's start grabbing specialists, I think. And we can only get one in that city, or one there. And actually, because we're relocating someone because of what we're building. So maybe we grab the marsh here. That's a pretty good tile. 2 food and 3 production will speed things up a bit. And over here, get out to several resources. Let's head out to the Cowlin and Marble first. And then as far as tax, or civics rather, let's go for Code of Laws and we can get our merchants. Or we could go for Lee to get the extra influence. But I think the merchant probably makes more sense at this point in the game. Don't think we need to build anything there. I'm going to explore down this way and see if there's anything of note. Not really. I think what I'll do is add this guy into the commander and start pulling the commander back up this way. We'll replenish some of our forces and then maybe try to make a bit of a push against Strong, who is now offering me a peace deal. Let me see what that even was. Yeah, I have no idea where that town even is. It's this one here. Huh, interesting. I mean, it would give me, like, a base of operations against Pataliputra. and it has the wonder there. Has like a decent, like if I were to evolve this into a city, has some like decent terrain actually for some adjacencies. 1, 2, 3. It can even get to the coast there. Yeah, let's see, now she won't accept it, right? Like that I find that very frustrating that I can't know what they're offering me. I have to click out of the screen, and then sometimes they change their mind. Did I just like lose my warrior up here? I thought he had way more health than that. Apparently not. Okay. All these units coming up that way. I have to deal with what's her face now. I'm gonna leave a couple Chu-Ko-Nu just because I don't know what our friend down here is going to do. Axum, we will want to evolve into a city once it is no longer in rebellion, but that's going to be a little while. Oh. That's not great. Alright, well, let's bring these units back. Let's purchase probably a spearman in here so we can get them to the city. I feel like if I manage to beat that elephant, then they'll make peace. I don't know where that guy came from. Okay. Move here. 37 combat strength on that thing. I think we need to upgrade that unit to stand a chance. Let's pull our commander up. Machiavelli, happy to continue trading with you. Okay. Town feels a little more secure now. I guess that Chu-Ko-Nu will just try to heal up out there. Okay, they did target the spearmen, which performed reasonably well there. Of course there's a dust storm that kills my units. This has happened to me in multiple games now. Like, I feel like I'm constantly losing units to disasters. Like, the disaster frequency feels really high to me in Civ 7. I don't know if that's just, like, my perception or actually true. But, like, of all the places and times for there to be a dust storm, it was right when I was healing a unit. Okay. Probably going to grab the +2 culture to monuments. Thing with the megalith is I already have a unique improvement, right? So I feel like it's hard to justify some of these other ones. Let's just grab the culture on monuments. That'll be helpful. Okay, here we go. Finally revealed this independent. Let's start befriending them. The narrative choice. I'll take the production on monuments, I guess. And then library we can start working on right there in this city. And we'll add the barracks in there as well. Probably do the barracks first, just because that adds some production. And let's load everyone up here. And let's see if we can get a peace deal here. Nope. Okay. Well, we'll just continue that war for now. We do have a fair bit of war support, so let's try to take that down offer. I'm not as worried about this one. It's a little annoying, but I don't think it's like worth the investment to go after this one. Like, it's not a particularly good location, and I would just raise it anyway. And here we can, let's see, where's the city center? Right here. 1, 2, 3. So we could get to the ivory. Let's go for the ivory because that does increase our ability to produce wonders in some terrain. Go for the food or production towards buildings. I'll take the production towards buildings. And I can finally take survey out. We'll slot in the +1 influence on happiness buildings and the +2 gold on all settlements. And now we have a bunch of stuff that we need to repair because of that ridiculous dust storm. We'll just pay to purchase all that stuff. Let's see. Our market won't be particularly good, but I think it's worth it just to get another quarter in here. So we'll go ahead and do that. This guy needs an academy to do anything with, so that's going to be a little while before we can do that. No actual resources to slot. And we're just going to keep pushing down this way. I think this number of Chu-Ko-Nus will definitely be enough to take this city here. Defenseless settlement. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're actually going to attack me there. So I'm just going to ignore that for now. Okay, I'll end my alliance with Machiavelli. I don't want to get drawn into another war down here. Not for the time being. Okay, this guy. Add 1 population. Sounds great. We could go for a specialist. I'm thinking we actually grab the wine at this point. The 2 happiness and capital, plus 10% culture and celebration. I have a decent happiness surplus at the moment. And there's Code of Laws. Alright. Push this guy forward. That way we can get all these units in range of this city here. What's really nice about these Chu-Ko-Nu is that even though they're ranged units, they can still capture cities just by walking into them. Altars or happiness. I'm going to go for the have 2 monuments. I don't really know what the outcomes are on either of those. Extra happiness towards next celebration is fine, I suppose. Okay, I think I want to get to this tech here. That plus 10% science and capital seems really appealing to me. And Great Wall, I don't think we need to worry about that. I mean, Petra? We could get a decent Petra, actually. Like right here, I could get some decent adjacency. Or like right here. Or here, or here. I don't want to like eat up a good production area, but I think we have enough of those already. So maybe we put Petra right here just for some adjacency on these tiles. And we also have a merchant who can primarily go to Tecumseh, or we could go here and get some actually decent resources. Let's do that, because I don't have faith that my trade routes to Tecumseh are going to stay stable. Okay. A focus fire. Let's just walk right in. And we will keep that settlement. And then we'll see if Trung will make peace with us. To give us other stuff, she will. But just Katana. Which is right there. Do I care about Katana? What is my progress on the military side here? I would need to capture 2 more settlements. I think I would prefer Kaloe there. Yeah, let's propose peace. I don't think I want anything she's willing to offer, because I would like to try to take her capital off her as well. And we can load some units back up into the commander here. And our merchants, we'll establish that trade route. We have some resources. Can put, actually Chang'an needs the happiness. So we'll put the wool in there. And down here, we're almost done with the library. It's not a particularly good Great Wall. I would prefer to like be able to go like that. So maybe we grab Bath. Put it up here. Put it here as well. Though that would be a good slot for other adjacencies, for resources. Yeah, let's go right there, and that way we can grow out in that direction a little bit. 2 turns until engineering. Okay, diplomatic action we'll just accept. Everyone is going to come back and load up. And we're going to kind of position back down in this area here. Because I think I could probably make a push for the city as well. And then Axum is available to be converted into a city. We're just going to spend the money to do that. And then let's start adding some nice things in here. So we can get a monument. This is the most productive tile there. Let's do that. And we can also get a garden, which will definitely be this tile right here. Let's do the garden first, just because I would like to make sure that city continues to grow. And then I don't know if this garden's worth it or not. Maybe I grab some ancient walls. I could also go for another army commander, more Shidafu. Let's keep working on these unique units here. I feel like that's worth it. Okay, this guy needs to load, and let's keep moving. All right. Well, pretty good work so far in Antiquity. We're about halfway through, and there's Engineering, and this almost feels like a pretty good spot to pause for the time being. This Blacksmith here, I can get a good amount of production right there, so I'm going to put that there. And the Amphitheater will slot that in with the monuments because we get some nice adjacency there. But yeah, this... I'm going to just queue up some of these things on this turn. 5 production. Yeah, a few good spots for it, actually. This... let's go for that one, I guess. So maybe that will be better as like a wonder. Or that could be a good wonder spot up there. Yeah, we'll put it there, and then we'll put the Amphitheater there. And in here, you can get the Blacksmith. It wants to show me adjacencies, which it does not. Maybe if we select attack. I think I'm going to go straight for mathematics. Yeah, that's the... it's not letting me select anywhere else. Wonder if they, like, started a blacksmith there, and then I captured it while they were building it, and so now that's my only option. I don't know. Let's take that out of the queue, and we'll see if that resolves once I finish those other units. Great. So we'll pick it up here on the next one. Really appreciate you joining me for this first full run for Civilization 7 Deity, and we'll see what we can do with the rest of the era. Cheers.